Have you ever stopped to think about what's really in that tomato sauce you eat on pizza or pasta? Hey, do you like a fresh tomato? In a sandwich, in a salad, or even in juice, it's always there, right? But what if I told you that this red, juicy fruit was once called the devil's fruit? For centuries, people swore it was poison, capable of killing with a single bite. Nobles trembled in fear, and the church saw it as something from the devil. You might be thinking, really? A tomato? Well, it wasn't always what we know today. Hundreds of years ago, the tomato arrived in Europe as a dangerous secret, brought from the wild lands of the Americas, loaded with legends of death and curse. It was accused of poisoning kings, causing madness, and even being a weapon of Satan. How could something so common today almost be erased from history? And what changed when someone dared to prove it was safe? Let's dive into a true story, so insane it feels like a lie. From the ancient Andes, through fear-filled courts, all the way to the moment that changed everything. And imagine this, what if the tomato had been banned? A world without pizza, without ketchup? If you want the dark secrets behind this fruit that conquered the world, stay until the end. In the wild mountains of the Andes, around the 15th century, the tomato was a sacred mystery. The Incas and Aztecs called it Xitomapple, the golden fruit that gave life to rituals and flavor to meals. Priests chewed its red fruits under the moonlight, believing it connected the living with the spirits. But no one imagined the terror it would unleash once it crossed the ocean. What did the gods of the Andes know that Europeans weren't ready to discover? In 1519, Hernán Cortés and his conquistadors returned from the Americas with strange treasures. Among gold and corn were seeds of a red fruit, shining like fresh blood. The Spaniards brought it to Europe, but not as food. It was a curiosity, an exotic trophy. In the courts of Castile, whispers began, was this fruit a gift, or a curse brought from pagan lands? Why did no one dare to taste it? In the 16th century, the tomato appeared in the gardens of Spain and Italy, planted as decoration. Nobles called it pomodoro, the golden apple, but it soon became the devil's fruit. Its red color resembled blood, and its leaves looked like the claws of a beast. Priests warned, it belonged to the deadly nightshade family, the poisonous plant of witches. A peasant who ate a tomato swelled up and died, or so the stories claimed. Was it true, or just the beginning of panic? In 17th century England, botanist John Gerard published a book that sealed the tomato's fate. It is pure poison, it corrupts body and soul. Crowds gathered in villages to tear tomato plants from the ground and burn them in bonfires, while priests prayed against the cursed fruit. Rumors spread that whoever ate it saw demons, or went insane. Yet, in secret, some curious cooks began to experiment. What drove them to risk their lives for a single bite? In the 18th century, another mystery fueled the fear. Pewter plates used by nobles reacted with the tomato's acidity, releasing toxic lead. Kings and dukes died, and the tomato was blamed. An Italian doctor declared, it is the devil's trap, disguised as food. Meanwhile, poor peasants, who had no pewter plates, ate tomatoes without issue. Was the tomato innocent, or was it choosing its victims? In 1820, in New Jersey, a man named Robert Gibbon Johnson decided to end the legend. In front of a horrified crowd, he climbed the courthouse steps holding a basket of red tomatoes. "If I die, let this prove its poison," he said. He bit one, then another, and another, while people screamed, waiting for him to collapse. But he survived. Silence fell over the crowd. Had the tomato been absolved, or was it just a truce? After Johnson's daring act, the tomato began to conquer the world. In Italy, it became the heart of pizza and bolognese sauce. In America, ketchup was born and became a craze. But the church still resisted, calling it the fruit of sin for its sensual color. In some villages, old legends claim that tomatoes planted at midnight attracted spirits. Why did these stories persist, even with science on the tomato's side? Today, The tomato is everywhere: pizzas, salads, sauces. Billions consume it without a second thought. But echoes of the past still whisper. In some cultures, it is seen as a dangerous aphrodisiac or tied to ancient rituals. What if the tomato still hides something we don't understand? What if the ancients were right to fear it? What we eat may hold secrets we never imagined.